YouTube's guidelines are insanely inconsistent. Now, I'm not a public speaker. If you were to put me on a stage, I'd probably have a panic attack. I've written down my thoughts on a Word document, so I am reading a script. I'm sorry. I don't normally get involved with most things on YouTube, but this is a topic I've considered discussing for a year. But I've always lacked the confidence to voice my opinion on serious subjects. But man, YouTube has made me lose some fucking brain cells recently. So what did I do that was so bad that it required age restriction? Well, lads, I got in touch with YouTube support, and they actually told me that at 1 minute 40 in my play-up video, I said fuck. Wait, Glenn! What the fuck? Which means that this video is gone too. They also mentioned in the email, although we appreciate that you've already edited the thumbnail and censored some words, I never did that. The video was censored from the get-go. So was the thumbnail. But here's the thing, right? I don't even have to look far to find inconsistency. I don't even have to look at other creators' channels with similar content. I can actually look at my other channel, Salt Raiders, where the same video came from the same footage, just edited in a different way and a few other perspectives. That also got age restricted, and that timestamp moment appears in the video. Glenn! What the fuck? Give me a pie. No! Yeah. So I appealed it, and they removed it. No problem, right? Except YouTube said no to my main channel one, so we now have an instance where they've said yes, and they've said no to the same content. And not to mention, the full VOD is on my Kaif channel. And it's not age restricted, it's just ad limited. However, despite that, the real reason for the video is that I really hate the rules that they put in place for monetization and age restriction. They're either contradictory, or they're so vague you could technically just hit anything. So the self-rated monetization guidelines state you are actually allowed to say fuck. Twice, actually. It mentions focal usage of strong profanity throughout, e.g. every sentence. But if you're a YouTuber, you already know that every sentence is a complete lie anyway. So somewhere between 2 fucks in the intro and fuck in every sentence, YouTube by their own admission has a defined number of fucks you can say before they will age restrict your video. Which is equally just as stupid, but I'd also love to know that number. So let's move on to age restriction. We don't really know why videos get age restricted apart from what YouTube support will tell us. What we do know is that if something gets age restricted, then it's going to be ad limited. And to my knowledge, you can appeal ad limitation, but it's probably going to be rejected. So here's where it gets confusing. If the monetization guidelines state I can say fuck no more than twice in the intro, and less than every sentence, with no focus on the word, why was I age restricted for just saying fuck? You can say fuck and we'll allow ads. However, if you say fuck, we'll restrict you and no ads. You get me? It's contradictory. Honestly, I think that an employee at YouTube just went a bit ham with power. And having that be an isolated occurrence wouldn't be so bad. But across the platform, we're starting to see how loosely they follow these guidelines, and they're used to affect one creator and not the other. Let's not forget that there are hundreds of top YouTubers who say fuck throughout their videos, and excessively, and they have full ads and no limitation. And I'm not saying I want them age restricted. I actually want the opposite. This platform would be a soulless husk if you couldn't inject a little bit of passion into your sentences. We have YouTube Kids. My videos are not marked as suitable for kids. If you think 17-year-olds need to be defended from the boogie fuck, you're insane. Oh, a nice little addition as well is that YouTube regards on the same level as the N-word and the F-slur. And considering most people, including myself, would only say one and not the other two, you can see how absolutely insulting that guideline is. YouTube needs far more consistency and a far, far clearer communication. For one, I can bet that this change has been planned for a long time now. When my play-up video was restricted, I noticed that the appeal UI had changed. And I'd love to show an image of it, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really expect them to change the UI. Like, why would I, right? I'm pretty sure it changed, though. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. However, just look at this, right? Policy violated. Community guidelines. Nice one. Which one? Where's the timestamp? I shouldn't have to email YouTube support and wait almost 2 weeks for someone to tell me that I just said fuck. And then double down that fuck is not allowed. I mean, come on. I believe that when a video gets ad limited or age restricted, then during human review, a timestamp and a reasoning should be provided by YouTube in their UI when you click appeal. It's the absolute bare minimum that you can do to show creators respect. This is not enough. And this is extremely insulting to tell me that I may have said or maybe the N-word or the F-slur. It is such a piss take that a human reviewer can leave nothing as a response. If that human reviewer can't provide a reason or timestamp, it should just be removed by default. And I know that they have a lot of videos to go through, and that's why it's important that if they can't provide it, it should go. You shouldn't automatically keep ad limitation or age restrictions just because it's easier to get through the workload. And I know they won't make this change, because then it would just be far easier to point out hypocrisy and inconsistencies. So it's probably just easier for them to keep everything vague and under wraps. I mean, just look at the response email I got. I wish I could give you more details, but doing so is against our internal policies. That vagueness is by design, to limit any consequences of making a mistake or to allow malicious actions. Let's face it, there's been so many videos lately describing some of the issues going on. This is one I wanted to talk about that does my tits in. And I've been dealing with it for about a year now, and I don't often voice my grievances with YouTube on the channel, but I actually want to add to that momentum. I'm aware that I'm risking retaliation here, but if age restriction becomes commonplace, it's going to do a lot of harm, and you're going to lose a lot of channels that you love. YouTube says age restriction doesn't affect your videos, but lads, it kills the video. If you look closely, boys, you can see the exact moment my FNAF video kicked the bucket. And at the time, it was absolutely exploding. You can see it just flatlines, followed by a little bump about 15 days later when I did a part 2 to the video. Side note, I can see why the thumbnail got age restricted. But again, many videos of Anchor Zone recreations still exist on the platform, fully running ads, no age restriction. This one year, they've ripped the exact porn video, and they've cropped it, and it's fully monetized and not age restricted. And at 11 seconds, you can actually see a dick bulge. But do I want them age restricted? No. No, because that shit is art. But you can see there's no consistent decisions anyway. So yeah, that's my rant. Just wanted to say what I was pissed off about. Honestly, I hope it was just a YouTube employee going a little bit mad with power. Could you imagine videos getting age restricted for saying fuck a few times? I think most of us would be gone. Anyway, bye.